Hey everyone, I wanted to talk right now about lightning actions and how they're extremely useful. If you've come into a scenario where you want a button that creates a record but pre-populates some info at the same time, then you're probably aware of what URL hacking is, or at least that's the term that it's been given. And so if you look at my screen right here, I made a custom button on account that uses a specific URL to start populating fields on an opportunity record. And with URL hacking, you could do this on any kind of object that are related, on any kind of related records. So let me show you an example. When I go to an account and I click that new op button, it pre-populated the two fields that I designated. I didn't obey some data validation, but I also didn't get that correct. But you can get the point. You could utilize it and start pre-populating fields so that your end users have a much easier time creating them. So in Salesforce Lightning, due to security and maybe some other reasons, they don't allow this anymore. You can't make JavaScript buttons, and you also cannot do the URL hack. So I wanted to show today how lightning actions, which are the replacement, are actually more useful than you'd think. So what I'm going to do is switch to lightning, and let's go to setup, and let's navigate to the account object in setup. We'll go to buttons, links, and actions, and I'm going to click new action. So let me set the action type to create a record, as it should be the target object. Now this is looking at account itself or any child to it, which there's a fair amount that you could choose from, or at least I can in this org. With the example I'm sticking to, I'm going to choose opportunity. The label type doesn't quite matter. Don't worry about that if you don't know what it means. And again, we'll just call this new op. It automatically fills up a name. You can create a feed item if you want to, and I'm just going to leave the rest as default. So now this is a page layout editor for when this person creates this record. It's not your normal page layout. They make it somewhat miniature. They also don't want you putting many fields on it. You'll notice that if you start dragging too many fields, it'll give you a message saying adding too many fields makes people not want to use this. The point of lightning actions weren't necessarily to create a whole nother page layout. Instead, it was to create a quick page layout with only a couple of fields, the essentials, to get that record created. It's up to you what you want to do. Then again, it's all about user adoption. But for this example, I'm just going to drag a couple out just to show. So we've got a couple fields on here. I'm going to click save. So let me navigate. I'll just go to the sales app. Of course, you can't open tabs in Lightning. Go to accounts, a random record. And as we can see, the new op button is here. So when we click that, it brings up that page layout we just made. Nothing's pre-populated yet, but it's very easy to do so. So let me go back to setup. Go to account, and we'll go back to that new op lightning action. And right here in this section, predefined values. This is the equivalent of URL hacking. You have the ability to click new, choose any field you want so long as it's not a formula, and pre-populate it with whatever you want. So let me pick one that's on this layout. Let's just say close date, for example. Close date, it brings up the formula editor. You're able to utilize that and look up to potentially a different object. For instance, account, and then so forth if you have parents to account. Or you could just do a basic formula like today. Save. Let's do one more. How about lead source? This actually just shows you the pick list, so it makes it so much easier to pre-populate than when URL hacking. You can just pick the value and click save. So when I go back and refresh this and create a new record, we can see these two fields have been pre-populated without the end user having to do anything. So I hope that shows you fairly well how to do so. Lightning actions can be utilized on any object really, so I recommend doing so and making your end users have a much easier time with pre-populated records before they even save. Thank you for watching. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments section.